This is the syllabus review for Education 385 History, Culture, and Society, the spring online course. My name is Andy Steck, and this is the instructor information that you'll find here. We'll start off with goals of Lefevre College of Education. There are 5 goals, and you can read these at your leisure. The mission of the college is that it champions social equity for youth, adults, families, and communities by equipping and empowering scholarly, highly skilled practitioners, education advocates, and leaders. And they will do this by their vision, which is to lead the national conversation on advancing the careers of professionals and scholars who are highly competent advocates for equity and justice. These are the Lefevre core dispositions and values. I'm going to talk about one of them in particular, social emotional learning. I spend much of my time working with this disposition, and you'll see that, I hope, throughout the semester. But I have started 3 charter schools in Buffalo, New York, or I've at least helped start them. I helped the founders. I was the educational consultant, and now I work with the teachers at all 3 schools in regards to an approach that's called responsive classroom, which is a socially emotional learning approach. On one of the schools we started 15 years ago, it's the highest performing school in Buffalo, and the founders believe it's because of the work I've done with the socially emotional component of the school. And we're going to be learning a part of that as we move through the semester in regards to what we do here in the course. The other school that we started just a year ago is a replica, or we're replicating the very first school we started in 15 years ago. And again, I'm working with the teachers on the social emotional learning. And then there's a school on the east side of Buffalo, which is African American and primarily low income. And I'm working with the founders and the administrators on implementing the social emotional approach that I've taught. I work with these teachers for a week almost every other month, and then I lead some professional development in the summer in regards to this approach. So it's a lot of fun. I love it. I'm in classrooms, I'm working with teachers, working with students, and I hope to share some of those experiences with you in the course. As you move ahead, the course description, this course focuses on understanding the structure and concepts of a multidisciplinary social studies curriculum. Emphasis is given to the examination of a variety of methods and materials used in social studies instruction. This course satisfies the ULV service learning requirement. Lots of times social studies is so underrated. It doesn't get tested like math or English language arts, so it kind of gets left behind. And I'm going to show you some approaches in regards to integrating social studies with other academic areas so that you don't leave social studies behind and that it is an integral part of your curriculum. These are the course objectives. These objectives will be assessed through the assignments that you will be completing during the semester. We're going to be looking at California standards. We're going to be looking at children's literature and how that facilitates concept development and understanding of social studies. We're going to investigate some technology and the use in a social studies classroom. We're going to look at multiculturalism. There are some methods and theories for teaching history, geography, economics, and civics, so we're going to discuss those and also look at citizenship education and values education. We'll be developing some lesson plans. We'll develop a unit outline, and we also will develop an annual plan for the instruction in elementary and middle school. The textbook we're using is the Social Studies for the elementary and middle grades. This is a required textbook. It is one that I think you can find easily online if you want to rent it online, or you can purchase it even as a used copy. It is the 4th edition. If you decide to try another edition, you might have page numbers that are a little mixed up, and some of the information won't be in an early edition as in this edition. We're also going to be looking at the history and social studies framework for California public schools, kindergarten through 12th grade, and there might be some additional handouts or additional readings that will be on Blackboard. These are the course assignments that the larger assignments. As you know, every week you'll have 3 to 5 activities that you need to complete for which constitutes the class. In addition to those activities, you'll have some larger assignments. Now, all of these assignments, although they're covered here briefly, they're covered more in depth on Blackboard if you click on the page of that assignment. So the first assignment that will be due week 3 is your annual pacing schedule. Every year, teams of teachers get together, usually at grade levels, and they plan the year out. They might do it for math, they might do it for English language arts, but one of the areas they can do is for social studies. So you're going to be working on a yearly plan. It's kind of an overall guide. It won't be anything in depth, but you're going to be looking at some standards, you're going to be looking at some topics, and maybe some activities that go along with that grade level. You're going to pick a grade level and basically create a chart from September to June in which you will kind of map out what social studies might look like for a whole year. And yes, we're going to start right off the bat with that because it kind of gives you the umbrella for what we're going to be working on throughout the semester. Second assignment that will be due will be what I call the twin text assignment. You're going to pick 2 books. One will be an informational book, one will be more just a fiction book that is on a topic at a particular grade level, and you're going to compare the 2 books, and then you'll write a 2-page, it can be a chart, it can be a narration of the 2 books. And here is the information that you're going to include in that. Again, if you look at the Twin Text Experience page on Blackboard, there are some exemplars, and you can see what previous students have done, and you can create yours to even be better than what you see as exemplars, and maybe I can use yours as an exemplar and give you extra credit for you rising to go above my expectations. One of the major assignments is a cultural learning experience. This is an experience that will give you an opportunity to briefly explore another culture and your own ideas about your ethnicity, your gender, your race, or your socioeconomic status. And during this experience, you're going to visit a place that you would not normally go, a place where maybe your ethnicity, your gender, your race, your sexuality, or your socioeconomic standing is not readily represented. This experience should take you out of your comfort zone. You may consider going to a grocery store with a recipe and create some foods that you may have never created before. You may visit a friend's home who is of a different culture of you and may have a celebration of some sort that's different than what you have participated in your own home. You may go to a worship service that you haven't gone to, or a cultural community event. You could even go to a gay bar if you're old enough to do that and experience that. So there's lots of variety of things you can do. And after you have had your experience, you're going to complete a short write-up of your impressions and reflections. And you're going to also include these bulleted points that have to be in your reflection. If you don't include that, you don't get the credit for as much credit as you would like for this assignment. You're going to write about this experience that happened this semester. Even if you found yourself in a similar situation in the past, it needs to happen this semester. And it's due week 6, so you should start thinking about this right away, because you do need to plan ahead to find a suitable destination. Don't wait for the last minute to plan your outing. You're going to create a screencast or a video about this experience, and you're going to add both the reflection and the screencast in the cultural learning experience Dropbox. And this assignment will meet the University Value Community and Diversity, and it's due week 6. Here's one lesson plan you're going to create. It's an integrated lesson plan. You're going to select one lesson topic and prepare an integrated social studies lesson. What I mean by that is that you're going to integrate social studies with another subject area. So you'll not only be working on a social studies lesson, but it may be an English language arts, or it may be a math or a science lesson, and you're going to combine that. The textbook consistently points out the value of combining social studies objectives with other curriculum objectives. And you're going to realize that this is a common practice in schools today when you go to your placements later on during your credential. Be sure to address at least one other subject area in your lesson design. Your lesson should also include a fully prepared assessment instrument. That's important. You need to include a fully prepared, not just tell me what the assessment is, but actually create an assessment that goes with the lesson and the topic that you've chosen. You're going to attach the assessment instrument to your lesson plan. So if you say I'm going to use observation for my assessment, then you need to make sure that you have included the questions you ask the students for the assessment and the rationale for those questions. What are you looking for in regards to your objective and what you've created in your lesson plan? And you're going to also put this in the integrated lesson plan Dropbox. That's due week 8. Now, in your overall annual pacing schedule you created, there are some topics, and you're going to pick a topic, and it's going to create a unit. And a unit is instruction that is includes several different lessons on a topic, and you might go from easy to more difficult, and you're going to create a unit outline. So there's a guide that you'll follow, and you'll create a unit outline in which you would then develop your unit of instruction and your multiple lessons based on what you put into this unit outline. It won't be a full-fledged outright unit, but it will be an outline that will get you started on working on a unit. That information is in the textbook. Again, when you look on Blackboard, you will see the page for the unit outline assignment. Click on that and it will give you more specific information. Another assignment is the technology investigation. You're going to look for some technology that's designed to meet your understanding of social studies methods. Your project should go on a personal interest to you directly related to teaching social studies in elementary and middle school students. It says here you have to submit a short proposal paragraph describing what your project idea is. If you want to do that just to make sure you're on the right track, you're more than welcome to. The sky is the limit on this. I don't have a lot of guidelines in regards to what this would include. Here are some examples here, but I want it to be electronic. Even though I know it says hard copy, I really want electronic. So anything you do here is something that you would use in a social studies class and would be something maybe a little bit more sophisticated or something unusual, something that would take students to a whole nother level. So think about that as well. That's due week 12. Another major experience that you're going to have is to have a community service learning experience. You're going to have to volunteer for 20 hours in this course in some community service. Now, 10 of those hours are going to be the Family Learning Conference, which is scheduled April 20th, 2019. We're in our 14th annual conference that Dr. Madhuri and I have coordinate for local students in grades K through 8 who come to our campus and get involved with literacy, math, technology type activities. We have local art authors that come in who have written children's books, who present, sell their books. We have lots of activities. Kids get some free books. They have activities they play in the afternoon. It's a lot of fun. We have Pomona Unified School District, who's primarily our largest district. They bus the kids in, but we have students from other schools who come too. It's a very exciting day. You will be volunteering that day for sure. So mark that on your calendar, April 20th, 2019. Hopefully you don't have a conflict. If you do, you'll have to work with me on that. We'll have to figure something out. Also included in this volunteer assignment, you're going to look at, it says Wednesday, but it should be Saturday, March 9th, 2009. There'll be a book sorting at the Laverne Science and Technology Charter School in Pomona. Again, that's Saturday, March 9th, not Wednesday. My apologies on that. And then for those of you who can help us, on Friday, April 19th, we get together before the conference to assist in the preparation for the conference. We get materials ready, posters ready, get the signs out, do a lot of work that needs to be done before. And then, of course, Saturday, we work from 7 a.m. It says to 4 p.m., but generally we're over by 2 to 2:33. So you will need to be a part of that day. Please plan on it. Now, that takes 10 hours of your community service learning experience. You will need to come up with 10 more hours in another organization. It could be a church. It can be a group that you know about in your community that you can volunteer for. There's a lot of different things. If you need some help, come in. I will talk to you. You can let me know that you're puzzled and not sure what to do. So you'll have 20 hours altogether. 10 which is involved with the Family Learning Conference, and 10 that's involved with a whole nother organization. Those need to be completed. You again have some bulleted points here like you did for your cultural learning experience that also need to be responded to in your reflection that you're going to write up after you are done with all of your community service. So there's some other information here. If you want to volunteer at the Laverne Science Technology Charter School, it's probably an after-school program. I'll steer you to the principal, and she can talk to you. It's about 5 minutes from the campus. You can take the bus. You could drive, but that might be a place you could go to. We could talk about that. You're going to write a reflective journal and a reflection based on your work that you've done, your volunteer work. That's due week 14. Last but not least will be your professional e-portfolio. Now this is an e-portfolio that you might have from another class, and all you need to do is develop the history, culture, and society page for this class, and you're going to include images, photographs, and videos. You're going to put all of your assignments in, and you're going to reflect on each of those assignments, and then maybe some other artifacts that are related to teaching social studies that you found along the way in Blackboard that you've collected, or assignments or activities that are related to social studies that you've done in other classes, and you're going to add that to your e-portfolio. After you've completed that, you're going to then create a screencast of your e-portfolio, and you're going to talk and respond to 3 questions. The first one is, what was the most fun, or the most the one that you enjoyed the most doing? What activity or assignment was the most challenging? And which assignment best represents you as a classroom teacher, and why? It's about a 2-minute, 2.5, 3-minute screencast, not long, and you're going to link your e-portfolio. Make sure the settings are set to public on that so I can view it, and you're going to link your screencast that you created for your e-portfolio to the e-portfolio Dropbox, and that's due the Wednesday of the last week. Here are the points for our class. This is the percentage, of course. After once you receive the total points for the class, you divide that into your points. You'll get a percentage, and from there you can convert that to a letter grade. This again is the weekly calendar. Here are a couple of things from the university. A social justice forum. If you feel that you've had some discrimination of some sort, that you can certainly click on the forum. It's totally anonymous, and the university will help you out. Please don't plagiarize. Give ideas credit. Credit for their ideas when you need to do that. For the most part, with lesson plans, though, if you get an idea from the internet, you pretty much don't have to give the person who created that lesson plan credit. But if you want to, you can do that. I do have a late work policy. You may have reduced points if you submit your work or your assignments late. There are due dates for all of them. Usually the Sunday of that second Sunday of the week is when everything will be due. If you have questions about that, please don't hesitate to talk to me about that. The attendance policy is that you complete the work, the activities every week, and I know then you've attended class, let's say, because I don't know you've been in class if you haven't done the weekly work, so you need to do that. If you do all 3 to 5 activities, whatever number there are, you'll get full points. If you do less of those activities and don't complete all of them, then you'll get reduced points, of course. Here again, online and etiquette about being online. When you're speaking to others online, please be very positive. When you're asked to give some feedback, give warm, comments, which are very positive comments. A cool comment would be a suggestion you might have. Please state that positively, though, as well. If you have a disability, please, by all means, let me know and we'll accommodate that, make that accommodations for you, whatever that might be. And I think some of the others, I use this syllabus for the hybrid class as well, so some of it does not apply to you, but for the most part, the most of it does. And that's the syllabus that I am now scrolling back through. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'll be glad to get back to you as soon as I possibly can, which sometimes are within minutes, sometimes it's within hours, sometimes it's within a day, usually not more than a day. Otherwise, that's it, and I'll see you online.